Hey guys, and welcome back to the Nerd Cave for part two of my collection video series. The first one I did was VHS. Next one up, I'm going to go through my Laserdisc collection. Really love the format. I got into it a few years back. When I'd go to conventions, there'd be some vendors that would sell them, and I'd pick them up mostly for the artwork. I would put them in frames. I'd get them signed by some celebrities. It was always a cool thing to talk about. It was always an interesting thing to get signed, and the celebrities would always kind of call that out and be like, "Well, that's kind of cool. I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen those in a while." Have a nice little chat about it. So I then finally was able to pick up a Laserdisc player off of eBay, and it actually still works. It's a beast. It's one of those players that used to be in schools back in the day. They would utilize laser discs, before CD-ROM became more popular, because you're able to go and skip through chapters, and they use it a lot for education. So they would wheel in the big TV with the laserdisc player underneath, and usually a top loader VHS above it. And we would do school stuff with it. So I was able to pick up a Pioneer player that's mostly for schools. It actually has the name of the school on it, which is kind of cool. I tried to get another player that was a DVD, Laserdisc, CD all in one, and when it got to me, there was a huge dent in the side and it was rattling, so it was messed up. Luckily, I got the money back, and I got it with a whole lot of discs too. So, but anyway, let's jump into it. First up is an interesting disc. It's not a movie. It's just kind of a. I'll just show you. It's a Pioneer disc, and it's just the. I don't know if these were in trade shows or what, but it just is. It's a disc that just shows the specifics, I guess, or the specifications of the technology. So it kind of goes into all that. I'll take a look. Now you can pause that. You're not going to really be able to see that anyway, but. And I'll show you. I'm not going to do this for every one of them because it'll take forever. So they would have the disc inside. Some of them would have a paper sleeve, kind of similar to like a vinyl. Others would have this plastic. And it's just, one huge DVD or CD. And, it's actually an analog technology, not digital. I think it might be digital sound, not video. I mean, there are plenty. I'm not going to go into the technology. That's not my forte, but you could probably check out a ton of videos on YouTube that kind of go over the history of Laserdisc. But it lasted a lot longer than it probably should have. With the mostly everyone had VHS. This was if you were rich. When I was a kid, I had one buddy who may not even been rich, but he had a Laserdisc player. His dad had a Laserdisc player, and we all thought it was like super cool. Like, wow, we all have VHS, and this guy's got a Laserdisc. Anyway, so when the product came out, it was in the 70s, and I'll just show you. It was called DiscoVision, right? A play on words, taking advantage of I guess the what was popular at the time, disco music. So they called it DiscoVision. With it looks like something that John Travolta would wear from Saturday Night Fever with the collar and everything. But yeah, here we have Flash Gordon, and a lot of the movies that came out around that time all had this DiscoVision logo. So what I'm going to show you now is everything that came out under the DiscoVision logo, and then kind of get into everything else based on category. So, but here's Flash Gordon, if I can see the year. All right, so this is 81. So late 70s, early 80s, it still had this DiscoVision kind of moniker to it. Here's ABBA. So of course, this is they had concerts as well on these. So I have a few of those. Another one. This is Elton John in concert at Edinburgh. And a lot of these came in that big kind of lot of movies that I picked up when I got that Laserdisc player. Cheech and Chong's next movie. Olivia. So I'm assuming this is a concert as well. Can we read that? Yeah. Here's finally a movie. Ooh, and I just ripped it a little bit. Awesome. This has multiple discs. Hold on. This has 1, 2, 3 discs. This is a Blue Collar. Some of them, yeah, this opens right here. But, you know, these are old as hell. 1978, you know, so. So the thing with Disco Vision or laser discs is that it really would depend on the type, like the length of the movie. So you would have multiple discs. So each disc would have, I think it's 1 hour on each side. So if you had like a 2.5 hour movie, you'd have to have a third disc. Some of them were a little better in terms of what they, what is this? Why is this a sticker? This is weird. Blue Collar. This is so weird. I've never noticed this. Is this like this? No, these are not stickers. This is like a sticker. Did they reuse? I'm going to take these out and see what this is. But they would have other ones with different quality. Like, so for most of the discs, you're able to fast forward or skip chapters, which was unique, right? And then you had, so you weren't able to fast forward. You could skip chapters. I think you might have been able to fast forward, but the player I have, when you fast forward, you can't see it fast forward. The screen turns blue. There were other discs where when you fast forwarded them, it did it in like slow motion or fast motion. You were able to see it, and it was very smooth. Those discs always were like a half hour on each side. So a 2-hour movie, you know, quick math, you'd have 4 discs, right? It'd be an hour for each. So wait, hello. 2 discs, 4 sides. I'm not good at quick math or long math. But anyway, let's dive into this, because you can't. This is the first time I'm noticing this. So this is a sticker that they've put on, because I've just noticed it here. So let's take these discs out, because I've never actually done that. Blue Collar, disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, disc 4. And then this is, so this would say, let me take this out. As you can see, this comes in like that paper. Okay, so this is, program material has been recorded only on other side. Oh, so it would tell you, if you can, well, there's me. And the disc 5. So these must be 30 minutes on each side, because there's so many discs here. I wonder if it says it. Hold on, I'm going to research. Well, it doesn't say it, but I can't imagine if these are an hour long on each side. This is over a 4-hour movie, so it must be 30 minutes on each side for this one. Let me just move this over here. This is going to be a long one. These are very kind of big and clunky and heavy. This is going to take a while. Yeah, it has to be, because this is Saturday Night Fever, and this is not a sticker. So what they must have done is started reusing. I really want to like crack this open and see what it was before, but I don't want to rip it. Yeah, I'm not gonna take that chance. That's interesting. They reused these, huh? And these are early. This is a 1978 one. So it's not like it was a later one where they were just trying to get rid of the packaging. I mean, this is perfect. Disco Vision and a Saturday Night Fever. In stereo. Yeah, so this has multiple discs too. This is busted also. And it's got something. Wow, this is really wild. Look at this. There's like a cloth here. I haven't cracked into a lot of these, to be honest with you. So yeah, this is disc 4, and it says, oh, disc 3. Throw it off to the side for now. Next one up is The Jerk, Steve Martin. Another Olivia Newton-John, Xanadu. This is only one disc. All right, so I'm looking at Saturday Night Fever, and it's got like those 4 discs in here. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 discs with each side. And it says 118 minutes. And that's all it says. And then if you look at Xanadu, it's only 1 disc in here. But it says 97 minutes. So it can't be a half hour. But also next to it, it says, let me zoom this in. Extended play. So that's the difference. So the ones that were extended play, you weren't able to scan, but it had more time on it versus the other ones. So I think that's the big difference there, because that couldn't be a half hour on each disc if it's 97 minutes. See that? There's the quick math. Next one is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Slapshot. I'm not going to show the back on each one of these. This is going to take forever. $24.95. Not a terrible price. Smokey and the Bandit. Do these all say MCA? Yeah, these are all MCA. Great movie. 1941. It's kind of cool but gimmicky, right? Because you want to see the artwork after a while. Richard Pryor, Which Way is Up? Smokey and the Bandit Part 2. Oh, I got some classics here. Blues Brothers. So yeah, that's heavy as hell. So those are my Disco Vision laser discs. All right, next up is drama, I guess, or miscellaneous, because this first one is not drama. And it's, it might be Beat Street. I don't really know anything about this. It's one of those breakdancing movies, so it could be. Laser video disc. So as you see, they're not Disco Vision anymore. Now they're just laser video disc. For a while, then they just become laser discs. Extended play. So most of these now are going to be those extended play versions. Kind of, sort of similar, I guess, to how it was with VHS, except, you couldn't really record onto these. So that's Beat Street. Next up is White Light. Don't know really anything about this movie. This came in one of the lots that I got. But it's a Martin Cove film. Interesting. Officer and a Gentleman. This is, now that you can start seeing these, now they're called Laser Vision. So what was it before? It was Laser Disco Vision. And then Beat Street is Laser Video Disc. And now this is, well, that's just Paramount Home Video. Laser Video Disc. But it also says Laser Vision. So it was, I guess, trying to find itself. I don't know. It's Laser Vision, but it's a video laser disc. Are not all laser discs video discs, or Laser Visions all laser video discs? I don't know how it is. I guess you could call them anything, but they're all laser discs at the end of the day. I'm really screwing up my camera today. Sorry, guys. A lot going on. Next up, Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump. Now this was cool because a lot of these, so let's dive into this a little bit. It's Pioneer, right? Pioneer did a lot with Laserdisc. Digital Sound, there we go. THX, Laserdisc. Laserdisc, so now here we are. They're calling it Laserdisc on this one. It's Paramount, so I don't know if it has to do because it's a Paramount release. But then again, this was a Paramount release, so I don't know. I don't know if each release is, or each label had its own kind of, called it something else. But this is the widescreen format, deluxe edition, and includes behind the scenes. So this is kind of the first time where you're starting to see special features. You don't really see them too much on VHS. And then this one is cool because it actually opens up, which is really cool. That was kind of nice about the Laserdisc. You got a nice you'll see some of them in the collection, these kind of collector series editions. And then next up, Regarding Henry, great Harrison Ford movie, it really is. And it's Laserdisc. So we're just, for purposes of this video, these are all Laserdiscs. Alright, so next up we're going to get into some kids films. First up is The Nightmare Before Christmas. And you can see kind of how the artwork here has changed, right? So you have the full poster art, and then you have a chapter list. Kind of similar to early DVDs. You know, some of them did have special features. Some of them didn't have special features, but you're able to do it on these if you had, you know, if they wanted to. Criterion, there's a couple Criterion that you'll see where they start to do more of that. All right, next up is Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. Now this is the CAV version, so I'm thinking, yeah, so it's standard play. So I think that's the difference. CAV versus, yeah, because there's multiple discs in here, as you can see. So the CAV versus the extended play. I think we figured it out. Next up is Hook, deluxe widescreen version. All the chapters. So there's 3 sides to it. And then you have the gatefold, which is really cool. Everyone's favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, Part 3, widescreen edition. Similar to kind of how VHS and DVDs were, you had sometimes the option between the widescreen and the kind of standard version, just because everyone back then just had your typical CRT TVs. Next up, Andre. Getting into some Disney movies. You got The Lion King. One of my favorites, Aladdin. This was an early Laserdisc that I picked up. So this is the CAV, if you see that. Hold on. CAV letterbox Laserdisc. So they had a lot of different options back then. Really cool artwork. And this had the gatefold here since it's the special edition. And the different chapters. And it had the trailer. And program start, opening credit. So, yeah, it's just the movie and a trailer. Beauty and the Beast. Snow White. A lot of these would come out around the same time as the VHS counterpart. You can just tell from like the artwork and when they came out. This one's cool. Sometimes you find these gems. I don't know if you call this a gem, but you know, things that weren't released on other formats. This may have been. I'm just talking on my ass. This one is a sing-along, Disney sing-along. And these would probably be good, right? Because another thing about Laserdiscs that were very popular were karaoke. So it gave you the opportunity to, like, you'd have the words, you could do karaoke. Some of the Laserdisc machines were also karaoke machines. I mean, you could spend a lot of money on a Laserdisc machine. Some Laserdiscs had Genesis ports on them or Nintendo ports on them ready to go. So it was really cool. This is a Disney sing-along where it's got Zippity-Doo-Dah, Hi-Ho, and many others. So that's kind of cool. This one is not even opened. Wizard of Oz. Is it? Oh, it is open. No, it's not opened. It's not opened. No. The thing about Laserdisc too, I think it was dependent. It's kind of like DVDs. It's subject to disc rot. So even though this isn't opened, if this wasn't stored, like the nerd cave is always kind of stays cool. In the summers, I try to put the air conditioning on in here to keep things cool, but in the winter, it stays cool. I don't really keep the heat on in here too much. If it stays in a dry, cool environment, they should be fine. If not, then they could be subject to that disc rot. I don't have any, knock on wood, I don't think, that have major disc rot on them. They'd also have TV shows. So here's Filmation's Ghostbusters, not the real Ghostbusters. I guess technically the original Ghostbusters. So that's kind of cool. And finally, The Witches. Pretty scary flick for a little kid, to be honest with you. All right, now diving into some action movies. First up, Young Guns. Vestron release. Commando. One of my favorite Schwarzenegger films, for sure. And this looks familiar. CBS. I fucking did that when I said it during my VHS video. I said it's CBS. CBS Fox. Because mixing up Fox with CBS, I don't know. Twister. And I kind of threw this into the action genre because I don't know where else to put it. I guess that makes sense. I guess it falls in line. The Warriors. This is just another example of, really getting this kind of for the artwork. I wanted to get this signed by some of the folks over from this movie. I don't know what I'm saying. It's hard to talk. They've been at a couple of conventions. I just never had an opportunity to, but we'll see. See if I can get some people. People are dying off, man. It's hard. Sad. And then last up, man, I can't believe this love didn't last. The Getaway with Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. Look at that. Look at that chemistry. All right, now jumping into comedy. Here's another one that I wasn't sure at the end of the day. I mean, yeah, I think this is comedy. This sequel is definitely comedy. The first one, I guess you could put under comedy or family or horror or Christmas movie. But this one is definitely comedy. So, Gremlins 2. This is another one that hasn't been opened yet. I don't own this, I don't think, on any format. So I'm very tempted to open it just to watch it. I mentioned Criterion. Here's a Criterion of Ghostbusters. Kind of annoying. There was like whatever sticker was on there, they try to rip off. But yeah, this is an old school Criterion release, which is kind of cool. So on here, you got your chapters, and this is just an extended play, so you don't have a lot here. You just have the theatrical trailer and the original theatrical trailer. But I think what they did a lot that you wouldn't see on VHS releases, obviously, that you've come to kind of get used to on your DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, is the commentary. So you start seeing commentary on here, like it'll say special features, original theatrical trailer, presented by 2. Oh, I guess that's it. No commentary on that, but some of them did come with commentary. One of my favorites, and I didn't know that this came out in 4K for Criterion. Speaking of Criterion, I'm gonna have to pick this up. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, top 5 movies of all time for me. I mean, classic. And I got this at a very unique time for his career. But I had to pick it up. And it was Ghost Dad, Bill Cosby. Love this movie. There is a Shout Factory edition of this. Dr. Detroit. The doctor is in. Sorry, you have to see the movie. Next up, classic Crocodile Dundee. Well, that's a knife. Sorry, I apologize to you. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that now. The laser vision. That's just the logo. I think they're finally kind of getting the hang of what logo they want on these. Next up, Blind Date. Kim Basinger, Bruce Willis. Great flick. Really, really, really good movie. I recommend it. It's John Larroquette is in it. He's crazy in this movie. There he is, right there. Just a good, fun kind of 80s movie. Chevy Chase movie. Seems like old times. This is a new one. I picked this up recently. Next couple are new ones. Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Excited to watch this. $2 I got it for. At the archive. This one I had as a bootleg, and I don't think they have any other release. This is a very almost pristine copy, to be honest with you. This looks great. It's a Vestron release. Tim Conway and Don Knotts in The Private Eyes. Great flick. If you like kind of old school comedy and Don Knotts, can't go wrong. I enjoy this movie. Joe versus the Volcano. And a movie I haven't seen in a really long time. Billy Crystal in Mr. Saturday Night. So here are the comedies. All right, now jumping into the superhero movies. Not a lot, right? You got to remember this is from a time when you didn't have, as you know, superhero movies weren't a bankable property, and they didn't, take over the market as they did now, right? So you're lucky to get superhero movies, and the ones that came out were classic. First up, now I didn't know where to put this. I ended up putting it with superheroes. Maybe this could have been action, and it's Darkman. I think he's a superhero, maybe, but that's where I put him. So it's my channel. Next up is The Crow. And of course, the classic Batman. Look at that. Fantastic. A little beat up. A lot of these are a little beat up, but that's okay. Batman Returns. And then last up, Dick Tracy. That's really it. That's all I have for superheroes. All right, next up is Sci-Fi. Good amount here. First up, and this is a nice collector's edition. I actually watched this not too long ago. I've never seen this movie. I've had it for a while, and I finally popped it in with Logan's Run. A fun flick. I thought they were supposed to do a remake of this. I don't think that ever happened. And it's gatefold. Really cool. Heavy Metal. Awesome movie. Just the music, everything, the artwork, the animation, fantastic. Next up, RoboCop. And just here's an example of, good opportunity to get some signatures. And this is a Criterion. I'll pop it out. Yeah, it's another gatefold, so I'll show you. It's a better look here, and it's a Criterion. Just got some special features here. Unrated director's cut, including excessively violent shots. So that scene when Ed 209 shoots up the dude. Screen-specific stereo audio commentary. So here it's got the commentary, film to storyboard comparison, an extensive still frame supplement chronicling the production of RoboCop. So some cool stuff on here. Much better than the Ghostbusters. A little bit about the transfer. So I think Criterion's starting to kind of get their act together on this release. And again, this is another gatefold with a lot of stuff on here. A lot of stuff. That's really cool. And then the chapters. And then you got like the commentary and all the other stuff, the special features there. So that's really cool. And you got the discs on either side. Really cool. All right, next up, Blade Runner, the director's cut. Runaway. This is a great flick, man. This is fun. Fun movie. Tom Selleck is just good in this movie. Great chemistry between the two there. Just good. Just young Christy Alley. Gene Simmons. I mean, there he is. I mean, just really fun movie. I think I have this on another format. I think. Maybe not. I don't. I just bought the digital because it was like super cheap, and I just watched it with my brother-in-law. He never saw it before, and he was very happy. So, next up, Forbidden Planet, and this is the standard play, not the extended play. So you have multiple discs here. Yes, that is Frank Drebin. Gatefold again. This is a classic flick. Back to the Future 3. And this is going to be fun. This is the original television pilot of The Cage of Star Trek. One of the very early scenes is it the end of the episode? I don't remember because I always mix it up between the actual pilot and then how they did the cage in the original series for Captain Pike. But he's smiling. Kind of like how Data in don't let me go down the Star Trek rabbit hole. How Data was kind of not acting the way he should, right? Because he's still trying to find himself, how the actor's trying to find the character, right? So I think there was some scenes where there was just things you would never do later in the series, right? Anyway, Star Trek, the motion picture. Wrath of Khan. I think you see where we're going here. Search for Spock. The Voyage Home to Save the Whales. Final Frontier. Whoa. Undiscovered Country. They all had this. And then they had to screw it up with that. Generations. And finally, First Contact, which I'm not sure if that means Laserdisc was not, because this came out in the late 90s, First Contact. So I don't know if that means there was no more Laserdisc by the time Insurrection came out. Independence Day. Yeah, that's that's mid 90s. E.T. I did the same thing with the VHS one. E.T. Great flick. Another Peter Weller film, Leviathan. That doesn't happen. Well, it does, but not that. You'll see if you watch it. Alien Nation. Love this movie. James Caan. It was also a really good TV show on Fox back in the late 80s. Love this movie. Really do. Star Wars. I love how people just, back in the day, just threw stickers right on it. Okay, now here is what I'm talking about with these special editions. How do I do this? I guess I can keep it here. Here is Aliens. And it comes in like this box. Here's the back. It comes in this box that you just kind of open up. And you got the discs. So you got a bunch of discs here. You got 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. There's nothing else. Oh, here we go. And kind of a booklet there. With some... That's a lot. Widescreen Collector's Edition. There's your cast. Oh, it's a trifold. Look at that bad boy. I mean, they took a lot of effort here with the artwork and the special features. You know, you paid a pretty penny. There's a chapter list. And it's got some special features on here too. So that's kind of cool. And finally, for Sci-Fi, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Deluxe widescreen presentation. Here's another one that's in a box. Are these both Fox? No, this is Columbia TriStar. Oh, this box just comes right off as opposed to opening. Got a nice little protective thing there. And then... yeah, that's all you had. Just the discs. I'm not going to go crazy like I did before. I'm taking everything out. But this got some nice features here. Deleted scenes. Archive storyboards. A ton of stuff. A ton of stuff you would never see on VHS or... you know, at this point, you know, you started getting, I guess, DVDs coming out, so they had to compete with that. But yeah, here are my sci-fi movies. I'm getting tired. Man, I'm tired. These are heavy. These stacks, man. Whew. All right, so last up are my horror movies. But don't leave right away, because I also have a number of Laserdiscs. Be careful how you say that. On the wall. Some that I just like the artwork. Others I've gotten signed. So when I'm done with this, I'll do a quick scan of the wall to show you what I have up there, just because I'm too lazy to take that shit down. All right, so first up with the horror, Exorcist. Friday the 13th Part 2. That's really cool. This is Beat to Hell. Friday the 13th Part 3. No, there's no 3D glasses here. That's awesome. But look at the spine. What a friggin' mess that is. When a Stranger Calls. This is really nice. Widescreen Collector's Edition. Phantasm. Is this a gatefold? It is. So I will take it out to show you, because that's the kind of guy I am. Here we go. Oh, that's really cool artwork. I don't remember that. A little bit about Don Costarelli. Just a little bit about everyone from the movie. That's kind of cool. And then the chapter index. Japanese poster, screen stills, lobby cards. Ton of special features on that. That's awesome. Alright, next up, Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window. First time seeing this movie was on Laserdisc, believe it or not. I mean, this I think was the first Laserdisc I've ever picked up, and it's for obvious reasons. Lost Boys. I absolutely love this. You're probably asking, why isn't this in a frame on the wall? And I have no good answer for that. Next up, second best vampire movie ever, Fright Night. A close second. And Fright Night 2 is a close third. Good stuff on there. Scott Valentine is My Demon Lover. Family Ties, right? Family Ties, I think he was in. Mallory's boyfriend? Mallory, what an 80s name that was. Good flick. I've told this story before. I never liked to rent this movie because it said lover in the title. I was embarrassed as a child. Next up, Tremors. Nice media release of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors. Oh, there's 2 in there. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Signed by Lisa Zane in the corner there. It's a funny story about this. I had her sign it at a convention, and then it totally wiped off. Like, clean. Like, you couldn't even tell. Not a smudge. Like, totally wiped off. I actually went up to her the next day, and this is why, because these are memorable. I said, do you remember me? I'm the one that brought this. And she goes, oh, the Laserdisc. I'm like, you see your signature? She goes, no. I was like, exactly. It totally wiped off. And she signed it again. Didn't charge me again, which was nice. Flatliners. And finally, another big letterbox deluxe edition of Poltergeist. So we'll quickly jump into that. Let's just see. If it's just the discs, I'm not going to bother. It is just the discs. There's 3 of them in there. So I think 6 sides. Like I said, I'm awesome at math. And here are some of the special features. And credits. International trailer making of Poltergeist. That's cool. That's really it. Wow, I really zoomed in on that one. So here are my horror, but don't go anywhere. I am going to quickly now show you what I have on the wall. Okay, so this is a mess, and I'm not taking everything off. But right here is Student Bodies. I just think that's really cool artwork. So I had to frame that. And then Vamp. Great horror movie. The original Dusk Till Dawn, to be honest. Really like that. Maybe that's my 4th favorite vampire movie of all time. Alright, now moving over to the other side of the room. I have The Thing. Got a couple signatures on that. Got Keith David on there. Got Friday the 13th Part 5. With Roy signature. Got Nightmare on Elm Street. Sorry for the glare. Can't really do anything about it. Nightmare on Elm Street. Signed by Robert Englund. And of course, Nancy. Heather Langenkamp. Friday the 13th Part 6. Signed by C.J. Graham. And who else signed? Oh yeah, Tom Matthews. Just like my VHS. Got Frank Langella's Dracula on laser video disc stereo. Once Bitten. Okay. Maybe that's my 4th favorite vampire movie. The Phantom, signed by Lisa's brother. Reanimator. Yeah, I mean, it's signed by Barbara Crampton. She is just unbelievable. She's great. She was such a nice... She loved the fact that I had a Laserdisc. It was really awesome meeting her. And then Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Signed by... Well, I got Alice. She wrote Alice Lives, which is awesome. And then Robert signed it over here. I really kind of wish he signed it up top, but what are you going to do? And these are my Laserdiscs on the wall. Alright guys, and that's my Laserdisc collection. I'm going to take a nap because I'm exhausted. But thanks for spending some time here at the Nerd Cave, taking a look at my Laserdiscs. Next up, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Maybe DVDs, probably. We'll do that in order. DVDs, 4Ks, no, Blu-rays, 4Ks. Don't know how I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to end up doing probably the different boutiques, maybe my video games. Who knows? Or maybe I won't do another video on this like I did last time. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, see you guys in the Nerd Cave.